It's time for some damn good tacos in college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs. Good evening, Razorback Nation. It is Thursday, February 27th, and welcome to the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk. I'm Jason Pattison. A big thank you to the teams at Rogers and Fayetteville Torchys Taco locations for all of their hospitality that they show us each and every week. You can always click the like and subscribe button to the Hogville.net YouTube channel. You can catch all past shows from Otis, Dudley, Kevin, and Marshall. Special thank you to Carbless Cocktails. You can try any of their 9 different flavors Carbless has to offer. They are 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and 100 calories. They offer 8 vodka flavors, and they have the tequila margarita flavor as well. You can pick them up at any of your major retailers or here at Torchys Tacos. Be sure to stop by any of the 2 locations Torchys has here in the great state of Arkansas, Otis, which happen to be the only 2 here in Arkansas, in Rogers and Fayetteville. They have the taco bowls that they're sporting this month. They have the Big Tipsy, the Bonfire, and the Moon Tower Bowl. So be sure to try any of those, pair those, or any of the tacos on that big board up there with some queso, and open your taste buds to a whole new world. Man, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty stinking good. It's been quite an interesting last, few days. You have Arkansas Razorbacks at the Combine, or as some folks call them, the Underwear Olympics. I think Lyndon Jackson made himself some money.
Yeah, he didn't hurt himself at all. Eric Gregory did okay too, right?
Yeah.
But landing 40.5-inch vertical, that's unreal for a kid his size. I mean, yeah, he's a freak. But we knew that. I mean, but he's doing it there. And, I think he moved up some today. Hopefully he'll have a rest of the great Combine and really move up and get some people in the pro, make some big coins, Big coin.
I'd like to see that. Him, Eric Gregory,
Andrew Armstrong, Quentin Jackson, all of them do well. All the kids went to that. Who am I? Oh, Isaac. Yeah, I knew there was 5. I'm sorry, Isaac. But anyway, yeah, I'd like to see all 5 of those kids do great up there, and all of them get drafted, maybe.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I think that with what happened with Landon this week, you pair that with what he could possibly do here at the Combine here at Arkansas.
Yeah,
his Arkansas Pro Day. I want to say that he might have made himself up and moved himself up to a day 2 draftee, maybe, because I think that there's a lot of teams that are going to be looking for offensive linemen in this first round of the draft this year. So if that happens and he's still taken in the second round, I think that's a huge, that's a huge testament to what he's done here at Arkansas. And maybe that might help Sam a little bit in the recruiting trail, because it never hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it never hurts. And people look at those drafts. Those kids, those recruits look at that. And Arkansas uses that. I mean, they got little spreadsheet, those sheets they tell recruits and, put it out there and put it on the walls at the complex up there, how many's drafted and, Landon's going to get drafted. That's one of the 5. Darn well he's going to get drafted.
Yeah.
But it's not a matter of if, it's when, as you said, if he can get on the second day, that'd be awesome, man. It would be great if he could move on the first day, but it may not happen. But the second day, that's second and third round, that would be a great deal right there.
And usually whenever the Combine hits, spring practice is right around the corner.
Yeah.
I fully anticipate that we're going to get some word here probably in the next week or so to find out whenever practice is going to start.
I was told today it's 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I didn't get a date. I was just told today 2 weeks. Yeah, but it didn't come from anybody at the U of A, so I don't know if that's accurate, but it's got to be close. I mean, that's got to be pretty close to accurate. So, yeah, I was told 2 weeks. So, didn't get a date, but I was told. So, you can expect that, here a couple of weeks, which would be good because we haven't talked to Sam since Liberty Bowl, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, he's hired an assistant coach, and we haven't talked to him. And, I mean, I get it, but I don't know. I mean, chance to promote your program and get excitement because I had a guy text me today, says the quietest off season he's ever seen. And I said, yeah. And I said, you can't build excitement that way, and, and by all accounts, he hired a very good assistant coach, guy with NFL and Nick Saban ties. You got to promote that stuff, man. I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm sure the portal wore them out, the recruiting, but I know I was there every day too. But I mean, you got to keep going. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've beat dead horse on that, and it's not changed anything. So I'll just leave it alone.
So, really quick, I want to also bring this up. Last night, and I'm going to put a selfless plug here because I think Lanny was really excited about this too. Had 5 former Razorbacks join me last night for an interview. Lasted about an hour. We're going to bust that up into 3 different parts.
Awesome.
Got Greg Thomas, Limbo Parks,
Blocker,
Terry Tatum,
running back,
Donnie Centers,
catching the ball,
Luther Franklin,
tidy and catching. Luther catch the ball, man. All of them could. I know Donnie. I know all those guys. Yeah, Donnie's great. They're all great guys. Man. Yeah. I'm not gonna say Donnie. They all are. But yeah, those are great dudes, man.
Luther, he was talking last night. He was saying, if I would have played in Bobby Petrino's system, he said I'd have been an All-American.
No, he probably would have. That kid. I mean, he's not a kid, but I mean that guy could really play football when he was here. And I don't remember the game or how long it was. I remember he had an unreal long touchdown catch against some team when he was playing. I mean, I was up there and, it was crazy. But, yeah, no, those were all really good Razorbacks right there. Limbo, big blocker.
Yep.
From junior college up in Coffeyville. And Donnie was from Longview. And Greg was from, I don't remember where Greg was from.
San Angelo, Texas.
Yeah, San Angelo, yeah. And Luther was from Aldine MacArthur, Aldine High School, I believe, in Houston area. Mm-hmm. Terry Tatum, he was from Little Rock Mills. So I remember Luther, I think, was from Aldine, but I may be wrong on that. But he was from Texas in the Houston area. And I want to say it was Aldine, but I may be wrong.
So this is a different type of interview. And I know that a lot of folks are used to the podcast that we do here at Hogville and kind of the format that we have set up between myself, you, Dudley, Kevin. This is completely different. This is no holds barred. No cussings bleeped out. Whatever happened, the first person stories that they were able to tell, we got that on video. We have that recorded. We're going to show that. And there's going to be a disclaimer on the front, and then, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is, what to look for. And no kids, but
you bleep out my cussing, man?
No, I don't bleep your cussing out, but trust me.
I'm going to sue you, man. I'm going to sue your ass. That's what I'm getting to. I'm going to sue you, man. I mean, lawsuit coming up. Lawyers hit me up after the show, man. I'm suing this motherfucker. Anyway, okay.
No, but there's some interesting stories that they were able to tell on the field that happened on the field. Some stories that happened off the field, personally, and also with coaching staffs.
People don't believe those stories are real. I mean, I didn't hear the show, but I know I've been around a lot of those guys. I was in Mean at the time, but I'd always go up there on weekends and hang out with a lot of those guys, and Cooney and Anthony bunch of those guys, and James Shebest, those guys when they were in college. And it's a crazy bunch, man. I'm telling you, they were crazy. And Steve Little. I mean, those stories are not false. Believe me. You may think they're unreal, but they're not. They're real. I don't even know what they said. Well, Jason told me one, but I mean, you can believe those stories. Those guys are crazy, man. It was crazy back then.
It was an interesting and also a super fulfilling hour that we were able to spend together. There was some fellowship. They talked about some old friends and old players that they had played with that they still keep up with to this day. It was I think one of the most interesting things too is that I let Greg kind of take the reins on it a little bit, because that's kind of what he does. He said whenever they get together, he kind of holds. He's the one that kind of dictates a little bit of or sorry, not dictates, but he asks the questions and he wants to reminisce with these guys.
Yeah, I can see that, because Greg was always a leader.
Yeah.
I played basketball against him in a benefit game in Mena. He kicked my butt, man, or our butt. It wasn't just me, but I mean, those guys were. He had Andrew Lang, I believe, Stephen Moore, Allie Freeman, and I don't remember the other dude he had, but Stephen Moore, I believe. But he had 4 basketball players in him, and they whipped our butts good, man.
Man, if you guys have any questions, comments, throw those up there, good, bad, or ugly. We'll take those live here on the air. So, that's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a 3-part series I'm going to release on Hogville exclusively or on our YouTube channel. So if you do want to watch that, you'll have to go over and get that, watch that. I'm telling you, it will not disappoint you one bit. So, real quick, we got softball this weekend. We got baseball this weekend. What else? We got gymnastics,
Basketball,
and basketball, and women's basketball.
Well, basketball's at South Carolina, but they do play.
Yeah.
Thank God it's a noon game, so it's not a 8 o'clock game. I get that with the Lakers, man. I don't need that with the Razorbacks. I think I got my quotes last night nearly at midnight. Start writing my story. It was nearly midnight when I got the quotes. I'm not griping, because I'm up anyway, but I like that earlier game. So then I've got company. My son's coming in from Denver, so I'm not wanting to be up till midnight writing stories.
Yeah.
Waiting on quotes. I'm going to get it, and get it out of the way.
And last night, that was a great game.
Oh yeah,
Arkansas played. I think that's what Cal was looking for whenever he had the mix of experience with the youth. So that way, if they did happen to fall behind, like they did for like the entire last minute of the game almost, before DJ hit that free throw to tie it back up, whenever you got a super young team, those sorts of things don't happen. You don't get back into the game after you've had a 10-point lead and be able to dominate 17-12 in overtime, where Nellie Davis and Zvonimir both took control of overtime.
Yeah.
That's where this team is different than some of the other Cal teams, because he does have that great mix.
Just worried me though with their legs. They tired out last night. No doubt. The 7 players, they wore down at the end of the game, and that's why Texas was able to get back in it. And I hated that for the Hogs, because they clearly were dominating them, and then their legs went. And I'll tell you what, they reached down to the gut and pulled out 5 minutes. When the DJ hit that free throw, and I'm thinking hit that second one, because if you don't, you're going to lose. And sure enough, he didn't. He missed, but sure enough, they did lose.
And Trey Johnson had that layup there at the buzzer, had a chance to go in, and luckily it did.
Man, that was close, and they tipped it in, but it was late. It was a good call. It was good, no call, but I tell you what, that kid, 39 points, he'd look good in purple and gold next year. I'm telling you, the Lakers won't get him, but he sure looked good in that purple and gold. I tell you, him with Luka and LeBron and Austin and those guys, and let him go crazy out there.
Can you imagine if they added him with all those shooters that the Lakers have now?
I'd love to see that. But they're not going to get him. He's going to go in the lottery. They've got a late second round draft pick's all they've got. So they're not going to get him. But he's somebody going to get a good one though. I'm telling you, I'd take the kid from Duke, Cooper Flagg, or is that his name, Cooper Flagg? Yeah, Cooper I'd take him one. But I tell you what, Trey Johnson to me is as good. And I don't know the foreign players. I know they've got some foreign players in the mock drafts. I don't know those guys that well, but I do know. I tell you what, after Flagg's gone, if I had the second pick, I wouldn't feel bad about picking Trey Johnson at all. I'm telling you, he's better than the kid from OU. He's better than the kid at Alabama. The guard at Alabama, OU is in the projected lottery. The Alabama kid, Sears, he's better than him. I think he's the best player in the SEC myself. But Auburn's got the Janai Broom, I believe. So he's probably going to get Player of the Year. So because Auburn's great, and it'd be hard for a kid from Texas to get Player of the Year. But I'm telling you, I think Trey Johnson's the best player in the SEC. I really do. He had 20 the first time. I'll tell you what. One thing Arkansas did do though, they shut down Tremont lifelong mark, man. I mean,
That poor
he
guy
scored
has
2 points in 2 games. I mean, he scored, I think it was 17. I had it and forgot to put it in my story. He scored, it was like 17 something to go in the second half. And that was the only points he got. He didn't score the first time, but I had that. Going to make sure I put that in my story and forgot, left it out, you know. But yeah, he didn't. But yeah, they shut him down big time, man. And I mean, he got knocked down a couple of times there, you know. But yeah, but Texas really fought hard. But Arkansas was better than them, and they beat them twice, you know. But I wish. I don't know if you saw my post on Facebook, but I said I wish Courtney Crutchfield was out there.
Oh yeah, I
with them.
saw that.
I wish Courtney had gotten here and gotten on the team at midterm and helped them out because, you know, I mean, if a dude doesn't get hurt, they don't need him. But with the dude, I'm 7 player. I'm telling you, I really wish Cal would activate one of those guys sitting at the bench, like the kid that signed with Washington or the kid, one of those kids. He got some guys that actually, you know, and give them 2 or 3 minutes each half or 4 minutes each half. You save the legs. You know, you play 2 minutes for this guy, 2 minutes for that guy, and let them guys get a little bit of a flow because I'm telling you, their legs went last night, and that's how Texas got back in. And I worry about with just 7 players. Now, if a dude's going to be back in a couple of days, I mean, a couple of games, maybe not so bad, but if he's out extended period, you can't. I don't think you can go into that with 7 players, man. I know they won last night, but you know, and I'm trying to step on Kevin's toes talking basketball, but it's just a known fact. I mean, you know, their legs went last night, but I will say this: they reached down the gut and found 5 minutes to forget that and win the game. You know, as you said, Z and I'll tell you, Nelly Davis caught a lot of flack from Arkansas fans. A lot of it's deserved. You know, he didn't play well for quite a while, but that kid's really come on, and they wouldn't be winning without Nelly Davis right now. A couple of 3 of these games they've won, they would not have done it without Nelly. And I'll tell you another player, Jonas Adu. He really stepped up last night. He stepped up 2 or 3 games in a row. But Jonas, you know, he's not going to score you 40 points, but he got 8 last night. It was funny when they fouled him, you know, and got that flagrant foul, and they were thinking, hell, that's the guy to foul, you know, the announcers were, and he stepped up there and hit both of them, man. I mean, under pressure. DJ missed a couple under pressure, and Jonas goes up there and hits both of them, you know. So, I mean, you're talking about clutch. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I don't know. I guess that injury, but something because he and Dalton Connect last year dominated the SEC, man. Those two kids at Tennessee. If Connect hadn't gotten Player of the Year, Adu probably would have.
Yep. And I think Janai Broom will end up being SEC Player of the Year if he continues to be the SEC scoring leader on the top team in the SEC.
Right. Yeah, he will. But, I mean, I'm telling you, if I had a draft, if I was the NBA team and I had my choice, I'd take the Texas kid over him. I just would.
Trey Johnson.
Yeah, it's just I would.
Yep. So I want to get back to football here for just a minute. You know, we were talking a little bit about, and we have a few more people that have joined us since we were on here earlier. You said that there is a possibility that spring football might start in 2 weeks.
I was told today 2 weeks. I wasn't mean by official at the U of A. He was a friend of mine, but he got. I'm sure he got it from one of the assistant coaches. But yeah, 2 weeks. Didn't get an exact date. But 2 weeks, it'd be, you know, what was that, second week of March, maybe?
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, you know. And that makes sense. And that makes a lot of sense. As you said, usually when the combine hits, it's soon to follow is spring football, you know. I'm just wondering, as soon as we get Sam, and we haven't had him since Celebrity Bowl, but as soon as and I'm not going to get on that kick again, but as soon as we do get him, I'm going to ask him about the spring game because a lot of schools are canceling those spring games. And I think it's because of the transfer portal. They're afraid kids. Remember last year, was that last year or year before, like when the running back was on the second string or third string, you know, and he left Colorado right after the game, you know. I mean,
that was
the kid from Florida.
Augustov. Yeah,
he left. He ended up Colorado, but he hit the transfer portal right after the game. He was on that third string team. They put the top 2 on one team, third and the rest on the other team, and he didn't like that, and he hit the portal. And that may be why a lot of teams are quitting the spring games, but I like them. If you ask, I've had people ask me, I love them. I hope they keep it, but I think they're on the way out. I really do. And that may not be the reason to transfer portal. I don't know, but that's what I'm suspecting. That's one of the reasons. You know, I'm not saying it's the only reason, but I think they're on the way out. I hate it, but I mean, they don't ask me.
I think that the only way that you can get around that, and I know that I want to talk about the 9-game SEC schedule that could possibly be coming up here in the near future, is that if they do decide to go ahead and you have a lot of teams all of a sudden starting to opt out of the spring game, SEC is going to have to, or the SEC, not SEC, but the NCAA is going to have to step in and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to shut down the transfer portal after the spring game, and you can enter the transfer portal the middle of the season. Now, hear me out on this. Middle of the season. The reason why is so that way you got your guys locked in. You have nobody out there trying to poach. And if you do have a guy that decides to sit out like what Arkansas had this year, then they can investigate that. They can look at it and say, hey, is this some tampering going on? And that's a way to be able to bring that out. Now, if you do close that portal window, what would you say to maybe an Oklahoma State, an Arkansas State, some team that's in the regional area, Kansas, come down and have a pro-style combined scrimmage,
like a jamboree
for spring,
like a high school jamboree,
for spring game?
I'd like it. But I tell you what, my ideal on this is, I'm just going to tell you, since you brought that up, my ideal is this: move the transfer portal to April, the whole month of, March.
Yeah.
March or April, either one. The whole month. That's the only openings, March or April.
Yeah.
That way, you move spring football to the summer.
Yeah.
To June, and you allow 20, 25 days in June to do your 15 practices. You move it to June. All the kids are enrolling in first semester anyway.
Already here.
Close the portal. That way, they play in the bowl game.
Yeah.
The bowl games, the national championships all over. Have it in March or April. It doesn't matter. Have that be the only portal. Have it open the whole month, and then close it up. And that's the one time they can get in it. And then you move your spring football to the June, and you have your 15 practices in June. That's what I'd like to see, Jason. It's just, they've got to do something, because this. I mean, they're killing them. I mean, you shouldn't have to be playing for a national championship in the 18 play or 12 team playoff, whatever, 8, 12, 16, whatever. It's 12 now. I get
like
that,
now,
but you shouldn't have to be worrying about people entering the transfer portal. And you're not only that, you're recruiting while you're doing that.
Yeah,
you're playing, you're preparing for playoffs. You're trying to keep your players out of the portal, and you're recruiting. I mean, come on, let's get real. I mean, you got to change something. Something's got to change, and the way to change it is to move that portal to March or April. Either one. Probably March. To me, it'd be better in March, because everything's finished by then, and you have your spring football. But you can have, the high school kids that come in at midterm. You've got the offseason. You could maybe let them have some extended some off-season stuff where the coaches can work with them some more than just lifting weights and running and stuff like conditioning. Maybe the high school kids and newcomers that come in at midterm, but for the rest of it, they have spring football in the summer, man. I mean, to me, that eliminates all this. Kids going to the NFL are going to opt out of the bowl game still. Yeah. I get that. I get that. But it cuts down having to go to a bowl game with 56 players instead of 76, or 80. I mean, you're going to probably have 4 or 5 kids opt out of for the NFL draft. The rest of them's probably going to play, It'll make more sense. And plus, like I said, man, you shouldn't have to be recruiting or trying to work the portal and preparing even for a bowl game. Not necessarily the champion playoffs, but the bowl game. You got all that going on at the same time. It just makes no sense, Jason. Something's got to change. It's ridiculous. I talked to the coaches when the portal was open during that time, and I talked to them, because like I said, I know they were up there every day, but so was I. Yeah. And they all hated it, but it makes it, as they all said, it makes no sense, man. Yeah. It just makes no sense. It's dumb.
One of the things that I also saw that was floated out there too is if you just did away with the spring game altogether, but you had OTAs instead. And because listen, the college game is starting to model the NFL more and more every day that the calendar passes by us. Every day. It's going towards a more NFL style. I know that Oklahoma just hired a general manager for their football team. Mm-hmm. Arkansas, I'm sure, probably is, if they are not in the works.
2 or 3 schools
they're talking about
hired them, hired GMs,
Yeah.
I saw 2 or 3 on the ESPN.com. Now they've hired, I think North Carolina may have hired one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they did with Bill Belichick there, which I'm not surprised, but I'm also kind of surprised that he ended up staying there at at North Carolina because of the jobs that were open in the NFL.
It's going to be interesting to see how well he does. Because without Brady, he's never done anything. I mean,
No,
all
he
he's ever done is lose without Brady, and I'm not convinced he's a great coach. Now, I'm probably people throwing darts at the screen for me saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm serious. I don't know how good a coach this guy is because he won with Brady, but he didn't win. He hasn't won anything without Brady. And I want to see how he does at North Carolina.
All right. So, also really quick too, if Arkansas does go to a 9-game schedule, they're also proposing that with that 9-game schedule, the SEC and the Big Ten have a home and home with a selected opponent. So basically, you're looking at 10 brutal games
and all that,
and 2 cupcakes.
That is ignorance. I mean, the 9-game schedule, the SEC, that's how schools like SMU and them got into the playoffs because the SEC beat the hell out of each other,
Yeah.
And that's all you're doing when you play 9 games. All you're doing is open up for the ACC and the Big 12 and those schools to get conferences, to get teams in the playoffs that wouldn't get in otherwise, And why do you want to play 8, 9? I don't like it, Jason. I've hammered that every time it's ever been brought up around me.
Yeah.
I don't like it. And I don't like the idea. Look, if you want to play that Big 10 versus SEC, play 8 conference games and do that.
Yeah.
Do that. That's fine because Arkansas is playing Oklahoma State, Notre Dame. They're playing somebody every year that's pretty good. So that's fine. But don't go to 9 the 9 conference games. The Big 10 SEC doesn't bother me. What does is that 9 conference games. I don't like that, and nobody will convince me it's a good deal. I don't like it. I know I keep saying the SEC Big 10. I don't mind that, but only 8 conference games.
The only convincing that's being done right now is the number of dollar signs that are in front of the.
Everything's about the money. That's what it's all. Everything's about it. When you don't know why something happens, always know it. Follow the money trail, and you will find the reason. It's life, man. I mean, it's life. It's follow the money trail, and you'll find out why something's proposing. And and that's fine. But I don't like it. I mean, you're asking me, and I'm telling you, I don't like it. I think it sucks, and they ain't gonna change my mind on that.
Well, we're getting down to the last couple minutes here. So we got Arkansas baseball this weekend.
Yeah.
They are
Charlotte
on Charlotte.
Yep.
First pitch for Friday. I've got a
3 o'clock, I believe.
3 p.m.
3. I want to say it's 3 o'clock tomorrow.
3 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah. I don't know
also,
about Saturday and Sunday.
You've got. I'm gonna look that up here real quick too. You got the Woodpick Classic. You've got Iowa, Illinois, and Missouri State in town. Softball. And so they've got a doubleheader with Iowa and Illinois on Friday and Saturday, and then
there's your SEC Big 10 right there.
It is. On Friday, softball 3 p.m. and then 5 p.m. doubleheader. On Saturday, 3 p.m. and 5:30 on Friday, 3 p.m. 5:30 on Saturday, and then 12:30 against Missouri State on Sunday. And then also with baseball, you've got Charlotte first game starts 3 p.m.
Yeah.
2 and then 12 on Saturday.
3, 2, 12. Okay.
3, 2, and 12. So that's going to keep you busy. Now you got Friday Night Heights. You've got the number 16 ranked gym backs going to be in action in Bud Walton Arena. I do believe they're going to be going against Florida this weekend. That's going to be a top 15 matchup. I think that's going to be incredible.
Where's there going to be something to do?
I'm sorry, Alabama.
And the weather is beautiful, man. It's unreal how a week makes so much difference, man. Last week we did the show from our house.
Yeah,
it was so cold, and this week we're 70 degrees. You
should be outside chilling with a margarita or something.
Yeah.
17 Alabama versus 16 Arkansas in the gym back.
It's Alabama.
Gym back action.
Hogs.
Yep.
I hate Alabama, man. All sports.
No doubt. And then
Nate Oates is one I hate the most. So. He's standing here. Wrong place, wrong time.
That's so true.
What a jackass.
And then tonight, Lady Razorbacks are taking on Missouri at 6:30. I'll have to give you a quick update on that one, too. As far as score goes,
they're pitiful. Lady Razorbacks are, man.
I
know they're not called Lady Razorbacks anymore, but, man, they're just not very good.
It's some pretty tough sledding for Mike Neighbors this year.
Well, there's no NIL. I know people are mad at him, but I'm telling you, man, the guy was not dealt an even hand. He just wasn't. I'm not an apologist for Mike. I like Mike. He and I are friends, but I mean, I'm just telling you, put anybody in that situation, it's going to be hard.
You're going to get the same result.
Yeah, and he's lost players in the past and the previous before that you can't lose. I get that, and I don't know all the reasons. So I'm not an apologist for him. I'm just saying he's been put in a tough situation, man.
Arkansas is tied with Missouri, 35-35 with 9:07 left in the third quarter.
Okay, I don't know anything about Missouri, so I don't know how good they are. But maybe Arkansas will get that win. That'd be nice. I think they've won 2. Is it in the SEC? 1 or 2? I know they won at least
Auburn.
1. I believe they won 2.
Auburn and
I want to say they've won 2 SEC games, but I could be wrong. Dudley knows I don't. I don't keep up with it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't.
Texas A&M and Auburn.
Yeah, Texas A&M. Yeah, I remember that because when Gary Blair was there, A&M was stud. Man, they must have went down too without Gary. So just like Arkansas did.
Yeah, and
Gary Blair was a hell of a coach, man.
So the Whoopig
John
Classic
White ran him off, the idiot.
I think there's quite a few people that might have the same
Idiot,
thought
man.
that you do.
Went to hire skirt. That was Gary Blair's words to me. He called me at the house and, "Can you come over for a few minutes?" Over, and he said, "They're going to get rid of me. They're going to hire skirt." And I said, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "They can't be that damn stupid." He said, "Yeah, they can." I mean, he called me at the house and I went over and just me and him, and he told me that.
Man, oh man. So the Woodpick Classic for softball this weekend. Friday, there is no TV or streaming for it, but there is streaming for the Saturday doubleheader and Sunday on SEC Plus Network. Baseball, let me double check on that. I do believe
it's SEC Network Plus, I believe.
I think it is.
Is that right?
Double checking on that real quick.
I want to say SEC Network Plus, yeah.
All 3 games, SEC Network Plus. And then basketball, you've got Arkansas in action.
That's on the SEC Network too, I believe. I believe that basketball game is on the SEC Network at noon.
South Carolina. Yep.
Noon Central against South Carolina, SEC Network, yeah. I cover baseball and basketball, so I know those guys because I write them in the story. But, yeah, softball I don't. Dudley does that, or, in basketball, girls basketball I don't. So, yeah, boys games I know.
Arkansas gymnastics will be in action on the SEC Network, and that starts at 6:15. So 6:15 for Friday night.
Good. I wouldn't know what I was watching if I watched it, So, I mean, I'm honest with you. All I know is, damn, they're athletics, or something. I wouldn't know what I was watching if I watched one of those.
You've got Jocelyn Robertson, which she was an alternate for the USA Olympics.
Yeah.
They're gymnastics team that won gold. So I mean, you got a gold medal.
Trail Nation shows the highlights after a meet.
Yeah.
And I see those girls doing that. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I couldn't do that when I was 17 or 18, and I was a damn good athlete. I couldn't do that stuff they're doing, man. I really was. I weighed 132 pounds when I graduated, and I was athletic as heck, man. Played second base in baseball, but I couldn't do that stuff they do, man. I never could. Of course, I can't now. I'd break my neck now, but, But,
do you think Jerry Meadows could have talked you into doing something crazy like that, though?
No, man. I when it came to doing those flips and stuff, no, man. I bowed out even in high school. They do that tumbling and jump over 4 or 5 people down on the mat. And you go and no, I'm not doing. I refuse to do it, man. That stuff I don't know, man. It stuff freaked me out. I don't know why. I do something crazy. I do something crazy, but I would have jumped out of an airplane before I'd done that. I was scared to death of that stuff, man. I'm not gonna lie. I never was, never did do that. I can't say I couldn't do it because I never tried it, but I didn't want to. I wasn't gonna find out if I could. I thought I'd break my neck if I did that, man.
Well, Otis. Let's get you out of here, man. Yeah. We got some tacos to go eat. Make sure to stop by the 2 locations here in Northwest Arkansas, Torchys and Rogers. Torchys here in Fayetteville. Next week we'll be in Rogers. Going to go talk to Marcus a little bit. They got a new taco of the month. Make sure to go check out any of their taco bowls that they have currently, which are the Big Tipsy, the Bonfire, and the Moon Tower. So be sure to check
out those. Man. I'll tell you what. Try the Trailer Park. Trailer Park taco. I'm telling you, man, it is good. It is really good. It's my favorite on the menu. It's not even close. I mean, that thing is good, man. I could eat 2 of those. I ordered 2 one time up there at Rogers.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But try the Trailer Park. I'm telling you, man, it's good. It's got fried chicken stuff. It's good, man.
So next week, you and I will be in Rogers, and then the week after that, let me double check on my calendar here because I want to make sure I get this correct. the 13th, I'll have Alyssa Orange from Picture Nation. She'll be over here co-hosting with me here in Fayetteville in 2 weeks on March 13th. So be on the lookout for that. So you and me Monday Thursday in Rogers this coming week, and then Alyssa Orange and myself on the 13th here that next Thursday.
Well, I saw where she resigned. I hate it, but more power to her.
Yep,
Miss her.
And I'm sure that there'll be more information that comes out of that, and we'll talk about it a little bit. She's been a mainstay here in Northwest Arkansas and Central Arkansas.
She's been good to me, so that's all I.
Since 2013.
That's what I judge people on. It's been really good to me, man.
Yep. All right, well, y'all take care, and we will tomorrow morning, 10:30, the Arkansas Diamond Report with Dudley Dawson and myself. So make sure to tune in then as well. For Otis, myself, Jason, thank y'all for tuning in tonight, and go Hogs.
Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos in college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchys Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchys is the place. Torchys' location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchys has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchys has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.